The moment the Simmons family stepped onto Flight 827 bound for New York, the energy in the cabin shifted, but not in the way it should have. Their youngest daughter, Mia, clutched her teddy bear as her wide eyes scanned the luxurious first-class seats, a rare treat for the 8-year-old. Beside her, her parents, Darnell and Angela Simmons, smiled at their daughter's excitement. They were dressed sharply but comfortably, having flown dozens of times before. But something about today felt different. Maybe it was the way the flight attendant, a sharply dressed woman named Claire, narrowed her eyes when she saw them walking down the jet bridge toward first class. Maybe it was the way her smile tightened into something brittle. "Excuse me," Claire said, stepping in front of the family as they reached their row. "First class is at capacity today. Coach is that way," she added, gesturing toward the back of the plane. Angela blinked. "We're in seats 1A, 1B, and 1C, she said, holding up their boarding passes. Claire barely glanced at the tickets. "There must be a mistake." "I'll sort it out," she said briskly, stepping away before they could reply. Mia's eyes began to water. "Did we do something wrong, Mommy?" Angela knelt and kissed her daughter's forehead. "Of course not, baby. Some people just forget their manners sometimes." Claire returned, her voice tight. "Yes, it seems you're correct. You may take your seats. But please be mindful that this is a premium section. We have many frequent flyers who value a certain level of decorum." Darnell's jaw clenched, but he placed a hand on Angela's back and whispered, "Let it go. For now." The family settled into their seats. But the passive aggression didn't stop. Claire accidentally skipped their drink orders. She offered newspapers to every first-class passenger except them. When Mia politely asked for an extra blanket, Claire sighed dramatically and said, "These are meant for premium members." Darnell's hands tightened into fists. Angela leaned closer to him and whispered, "We've worked too hard to let someone like her rattle us." The man sitting across the aisle noticed the tension. His name was Mr. Jacobs, a longtime executive who frequently flew the airline. After watching the interaction for over 20 minutes, he leaned over and quietly said, "I hope I'm not out of line, but that attendant is out of line. I've never seen her treat anyone else this way." Angela gave him a soft smile. "You're not out of line. Thank you." The flight went on, but Claire's behavior didn't improve. Her microaggressions grew louder in silence. Blair's muttered under-the-breath comments, exaggerated politeness to everyone else. Then, mid-flight, an unexpected announcement buzzed through the cabin. "Ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. We're pleased to have a very special family flying with us today, the Simmons family." For those who don't know, Darnell and Angela Simmons are the co-owners of this airline and have been instrumental in shaping our inclusive corporate values. We thank them for their continued leadership and commitment to excellence. Please join us in giving them a warm welcome. The entire cabin turned. Claire froze in place, the tray she held wobbling in her hands. Her face lost all color as the pieces fell into place. Her eyes met Angela's, and for the first time during the flight, Claire looked truly speechless. Angela gave a measured smile. "Still mindful of decorum, Claire?" The moment passed slowly, like honey dripping from a spoon. Passengers nearby began to clap, some awkwardly, others with conviction. Mr. Jacobs gave a low whistle and chuckled under his breath. Claire, flustered, stammered, I had no idea. I didn't." Angela gently raised a hand. "You didn't think you needed to know. You assumed." Darnell added, his voice calm but firm, "We didn't ask for special treatment. Just equal treatment." Claire excused herself and didn't return for the remainder of the flight. When they landed, the family was greeted by a small team of airline staff who had been briefed about their presence. Claire was nowhere in sight. Later that week, an official apology arrived, both personal and corporate, acknowledging the incident, and committing to retraining the staff on implicit bias and customer respect. But the Simmons family didn't share the story for retribution. They shared it for a reason. Angela posted about the experience on social media, writing, "We're not angry. We're exhausted." Being black and successful shouldn't surprise people. Owning something shouldn't feel like rebellion. We told this story because for every Simmons family, there are thousands more treated unfairly just trying to exist in spaces they've earned. The post went viral, sparking conversations nationwide. And while Claire's fate remained private, what mattered most was the impact, a ripple effect that prompted the airline industry to reassess its values. The Simmonses didn't just own an airline. They represented a new altitude of dignity, one where assumptions were no longer acceptable baggage. In the end, the lesson wasn't about power or revenge. It was about humanity. Because respect shouldn't be reserved for those with titles. It should be the baseline for all.